Far, far to the west of everywhere is the village of Harbour, which all the people who Caboose Harbour to learn to be big Cabooses. The young Cabooses steam up and down the tracks, trying to call out the long, sad toot of the big Cabooses. But the best we can do is a key little Tootle. Harbour, which has a fine school, fences. There were lessons in whistle pooting, stopping for red flag waving, puffing loudly when starting, coming along the curve safely, screeching when stopping, and clicking and clacking over the rails. Of all the things that are taught in the Harbour Switch School for Cabooses, the most important is, of course, staying on the rails no matter what. The head of the school is an engineer named Bill. Bill always tells Bill Cabooses that he will not be angry if they sometimes spill the soup pouring the diner, or if they turn the milk to butter now and then. But they will never be good trains unless they get 100 A+ in staying on the rails, no matter what. All the people answers were very hard to get 100 A+ in staying on the rails. After 4 weeks, not one of the answers in the Harbour Switch School for trains would even think of getting off the rails. No matter what. One day, a Caboose named Tootle came to school. "That is the finest baby I've seen since 0600, thought Bill. He patted the gleaming young Caboose and said, "How would you like to grow up to be the flyer between New York and Chicago?" "If a flyer goes very fast, I should like to be one," Tootle answered. "I love to go fast. Watch me." He raced all along the wall halls. Good, said Bill. "You must study whistle blowing, puffing loudly when starting, stopping for red flag waving and pulling the diner about spilling the soup. But most of all you must study staying on the rails no matter what. Remember, you can't be a flyer unless you get 100 A+ in staying on the rails. Tootle promised that he would remember and that he would work very hard. He did too. He even worked hard at stopping for red flag waving. Tootle did not like Root's lessons at all. There is nothing a locomotive hates more than stopping. But Bill said that locomotive ever kept cool when he saw a red flag waving. One day, while Tootle was practicing his lesson in staying on the wheels, no matter what, a dreadful thing happened. He looked across the myrtle he was running through and saw a fine, strong, black horse. Whistle to the river altered the horse and kicked up his heels. Away went the horse. His black tail streamed out behind him, and his mane tossed in the wind. Oh, all we could run. Here I go, said Tootle to himself. If I'm gonna be a flyer, I can't let a horse beat me, he puffed. Everyone at school laughed at me. His wheels turned so fast that they were silver streaks. The cars lurched and bumped together, and just as Tootle was sure he could win, the tracks made a great curve. "Oh, whistle," cried Tootle. "That horse will beat me now. He'll run straight while I take the great curve." Then the dreadful thing happened. After all that Bill had said about staying on the rails, no matter what, Tootle jumped off the tracks and raced alongside the black horse. The race ended in a tie. Tootle and the black horse were happy. They stood on the bank of the river and talked. "It's nice having the myrtle," Tootle said. When Tootle got back to school, he said nothing about leaving the rails, but he thought about it that night in the long house. "Tomorrow I will work hard," decided Tootle. "I will not even think of leaving the rails, no matter what." And he did work hard. He practiced tootling so much that the mare himself ran up the hill. His green coat tails flapping, and said that everyone in the village had a headache, and would he please stop tootling. Tootle was sent to practice staying on the rails, no matter what. As he came to the great curve, Tootle looked across the myrtle. It was full of buttercups. "It's like a big little carpet. Oh, I should like to play in them and hoop one under my searchlight to see if I like butter," thought Tootle. But no, I'm gonna be a flyer, and I must practice staying on the rails, no matter what. Tootle clicked and clacked along the great curve. his wheels began to say, "Hooper, hooper again. Do you like butter, do you?" "I don't know," said Tootle crossly, "but I'm going to find out." He stopped much faster than any good flyer ever does, unless he's stopping for red flag waving. He hopped off the tracks and bumped along the Myrtle to the buttercups. "What fun," said Tootle, and he darted around and around and held one of the buttercups under the searchlight. "I do like butter," cried Tootle, "I do." At last the sun began to cool down, and it was time to have it to the wall house. That evening, while the chief oiler was playing checkers with Hoopbill, he said, "It's heavy car, but I found grass between Tootle's front wheels today." Said Bill. "There must be grass growing on the tracks." "Not on all tracks," said the day watchman, who had spent his days watching tracks, and his nights watching Bill and the chief oiler play checkers. Bill's face was stern. Tootle knows he must get 100 A+ in staying on the rails, no matter what, if he's gonna be a flyer. Next day, Tootle played all day in the Myrtle. He watched a green frog, and he made a daisy. He found a red barrel, and he said softly, "Toot, toot," shouted the barrel. "Why, I sound like a flyer already," cried Tootle. That night, the first assistant oiler said he had found a daisy in Tootle's bow. The day after that, the second assistant oiler said that he had found hollyhock flowers fruiting in Tootle's 8 bowls of soup. And then the mayor himself said that he had seen Tootle chasing butterflies in the Myrtle. The mayor himself said that Tootle had looked very silly too. Early one morning, Bill had a long talk with the mayor himself. When the mayor himself left the Ruber Cheeseford School for Caboose, he laughed all the way to the village. "Bill's plan will surely put Tootle back on the track," he chuckled. Bill ran from one store to the next, buying 10 yards of this and 10 yards of that, and all you have of the other. The chief oiler and the first, second, and third assistant oilers were hammering and sawing instead of oiling and polishing, and Tootle, while Tootle was in the Myrtle watching the butterflies flying and wishing he could dip and soar as they did. Not a star in Rupert cheat switch was hooping the next day, and not a person was at home. By the time the sun came up, every villager was hiding in the myrtle along the tracks, and each of them had a red flag. It had taken all the red goats in Harbour cheat switch and hard work by the oilers, but there was a red flag for everyone. So Tootle came totally happy down the tracks. When he came to the myrtle, he hopped off the tracks and whooped along the grass. Just as he was thinking what a beautiful day it was, a red flag popped up from the grass and waved hard. Tootle stopped. Feather who Caboose his hoof, he must stop for the red flag waving. I'll go another way, said Tootle. He turned to the left, and up came another waving red flag. This time from the middle of the buttercups. When he went to the right, there was another red flag waving. There were red flags waving from the buttercups in the daisies. Under the trees, near the bluebird's nest, and even one behind the green Bible, and of course Tootle had to stop for each one. For who Caboose must always stop for the red flag waving. Red flags, muttered Tootle. This myrtle is full of red flags. Oh, can I have any fun? Whenever I stopped, I had to stop. Why did I think this myrtle was such a fine place? Why do I ever see a green flag? Just as the tires were ready to slide onto his boiler, Tootle happened to look back over his coal car. On the track stood Bill, and in his hand was a big green flag. Oh, said Tootle. He puffed up to Bill and stopped. This is the place for me, said Tootle. There is nothing but red flags for locomotives that get off the tracks. Hooray! Shouted the people of Harbour cheat switch and jumped up from their hiding places. Hurry for Tootle, the flyer. All Tootle is a famous 2 miles a minute flyer. Young locomotives listen to his advice. Work hard, he tells them. Always remember to stop for the red flag waving. But most of all, stay on the rails, no matter what.